Hello, we are traveling to Rishikesh to interview Maa Gyaan, a very popular healer and yogini in India. And we are driving with Sunil, driver, and with Rana ji, yoga teacher, cameraman, and Jason from Australia, also a yogi. So we will say more when we get there, and hopefully we can interview this great healer. Bye. Have arrived finally, and we're gonna walk inside.
Look at the heaven. So beautiful.
Can you see the river?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, how beautiful! Look at that. And you can see it over here. So beautiful. Wow. And we are very close to the foothills of the Himalayas. You have dogs? Yeah?
Yeah. The cow's milk, yes, but now she's pregnant at the moment, so no milk.
The last time also when I came.
हाँ वो तो हो गया था लड़का.
अच्छा हो गया था.
Groove, you know, the Indian jasmine and neroli, the orange blossom. There's so much of a reflection of, you know,
Who you are?
yeah.
Yes.
Small little things everywhere. Yeah, that's a very beautiful spiral. I make people do come to study with me. I make them do a ritual. Go inside, let go, and then come out fresh. We make a very beautiful ritual. Yeah. It's grounding. Yeah, it's very grounding.
We are in Rishikesh at the ashram of Maa Gyaan Suveera, and she's a very famous healer, yogini, yoga teacher, astrologer, and it's an honor to be here. I'm here with two more people, Jason, yogi from Australia, and Ranaji, yoga teacher at PDI. And I'm going to be interviewing Ma. I want to know, hi, how are you? Namaste.
Namaste.
Tell us about your background. How did you become interested in what you do? You're a healer. You're the founder of this C meditation, is evolutionary path, cosmic intelligence.
Yes.
So we all want to know about that.
Yes. Yeah, hi everybody. We here in India believe that there isn't anything like a lifetime. It is eternity that we are flowing in, and we are flowing in a timeline that never ends. It is like the soul's journey that goes on and on and on for several lifetimes. And a lifetime, they say in India, is for the universe like the blink of an eye. So it's hardly any time. Whenever people ask me such a question as to how did you start with this journey, I don't think I started with the journey just caught up with me. It's something that you probably, if you could understand, I probably must have been doing it for several lives, and in this life it was just a recall of everything, a wisdom that is present in all of us. We, in our deepest self, really know what we want to do. Most of the time people are not able to spell it out or identify clearly as to what is their calling. And fortunately, if grace supports our journey, and if the time is right, and if the universe wants it, then the calling is crystal clear. For me, the calling was crystal clear. When I was in my teens, I started meditating when I was 14. I studied in the Aurobindo ashram in Delhi. I was a boarder. I used to stay in the boarding school, which was in the ashram. And we as children were taken for meditation, and I found myself very easily slipping into a state of calm and peace. I also found a new relationship with self, which is in the crevices of my heart. I started having conversations, which in our in our spiritual academic circles, we call this introspection and reflection. I started doing it at a very young age. A dialogue with me started very early, and this of course opened the corridors and possibilities of several healing practices that came along very simply, very easily. I absorbed and learned them very quickly, because that was not new to me. That wasn't new to me because there was something I probably knew in my past lives, and it was just a recall. I just knew it in my heart. And so the journey began with meditation, and went ahead with healing practices. So it was a journey that started very early, and then I very, very easily fit into the role that universe had decided for me. I'm a qualified designer, and I worked for a while in the university teaching designing. And I love that, because creativity is such an extension of spiritual life. I can now relate to why I loved designing. And sometime in 1992, the spiritual call inside me was very intense, and the creativity that I was in was not giving me the fulfillment, the feeling of fulfillment. I knew I had to do something more to let my heart rest in the position that I was standing in. So the calling was very intense, and in 1992 I shifted to spiritual teaching, which was otherwise pursued by me like a passion in the heart and like a hobby, and the healing arts and modalities that I was already learning and flowing effortlessly into were like my hobbies. But then I started taking, I changed my role and came as a spiritual teacher in 1992, teaching all the things that were channeled through me very effortlessly. And there's been no looking back. I just slipped into the shoes of a healer, teacher, and a guide very simply. Life coaching, which is like more of a modern word, it was always done, through ages. Old grandmas used to do it, and healers and seekers and soothers have always done life coaching. And it is something so simply comes to people who are connected with their inner light, and who understand that they are not doing, but rather channeling something that our higher mentors, guides, and our parents, the universal parents, want to channel through us. So when we become, I believe that when we become very crystal clear, pure channels of love and light, everything is channeled through us, and that which channels through us is at the right time, in the right space, and in front of the right person. This is what I sincerely believe in. This is my journey about the healing practices. Claudia.
Yes, great, thank you, Ma.
Thank you.
And so I would like to know, how do you start the C plus meditation and evolutionary path? You are the founder of that method.
Yeah.
So what it is about, and explain a little more about that.
Sure. The Cosmic Intelligence Plus Evolutionary Path is, the name was founded by me. I would rather say it was channeled, and this was exactly the time that I referred to before in 1992, was the whole system of teaching was channeled to me through my master, through my mentor. I'm in deep connection, and I share very beautiful relationship with ascended master from India, Swami Samarth. Swami Samarth belonged to a place called Akkalkot in Maharashtra. In 1992, I was given this wisdom, and I was asked to take it further and to teach to people because I started practicing this method and it was a very effortless journey for me. I wanted to share this wisdom with everyone, and we modulated and packed it into a workable 2-day workshop, which is how things are designed in modern times. In previous era, in the olden era, there was a Gurukul system where if I was a seeker, I would have to go approach the master and stay with him in the hermitage for a while to be able to learn a system. But in the modern times, people are busy in their respective roles. So we designed a 2-day workshop that could be conducted over a weekend, and people could still get that knowledge and teachings. It is a fantastic and a very beautiful method. A 2 parallel way road where you have 2 sides of the teachings, one being meditation and the other being healing. And my Gurudev says that when you're meditating, meditate like a yogi, and when you're healing, be compassionate like Mother Nature. So one is like meant for the yin and the other meant for the yang. And healing is for purification and need not be practiced every day, should be done only when one needs it, when there is imbalance in the body. But meditation is something one should do every day, because we need to get in touch. We need to keep in touch with our core, with our inner self. So this part is very beautifully designed. The whole workshop is very beautifully designed, and we are conducting the sessions all over the world. Our the nearest session that we are doing now is in Vienna in September. So Claudia, anything more you wanted to know about?
Yes. So you mentioned life coaching, and I do that too through a company I have in Dallas, life coaching, and I'm studying psychology counseling.
Wonderful.
So what would you recommend someone like me, a life coach and a psychologist doing therapy, to become more efficient in our counseling practice to help people heal? Because a lot of people come to us with deep wounds, right?
Yeah.
And that's part of healing, emotional healing. So what do you recommend to someone like me to be better counselors, better life coaches?
Yeah. You see, the Indian wisdom is like as deep as the ocean. We don't know where's the bed. It's so deep, and everything is addressed, from all sicknesses, all sufferings, and all the occurrences in the universe are addressed from the gross level to the subtler level to the causal level. Now the causal level is something the Western world is completely unaware of, and the causal level is what is the platform or the ground from which everything is sprouting. So the emotional suffering and the gross suffering is all coming from a layer which is unseen, completely unseen, and probably has relevance not to just this life, but relevance to the eternity of the soul over many lifetime journeys. In the recent times, in the past 2-3 decades, I've been hearing about past life regression and hypnosis, and a lot of these modalities that are taking into the bedrock that there is a life after life and life before life, which is not a concept which was so easily accepted by the other side of the world, but now it is, because there are memories that are so latent, that are so dormant, and when they awaken, they create havoc in the body. And the causal level is this level that I talk about. So for people who are into life coaching, if you understand the philosophy of the Sankhya tradition, the Sankhya tradition is the oldest philosophy in India that talks about the Shiva and the Shakti, or consciousness and energy, as 2 different aspects to understand and realize within ourselves. When we understand these 2 facets of our personality, and when we trace the journey of the energy through several lives, then we are able to unravel and find the different facets of you that have been living in several lives before. And I feel the in-depth study of this understanding about how lives are carried forward would certainly open up a different perception to all life coaches, and would open up a different way of handling people who come, because it's not just a physical and emotional, it's something very, very deeper. And would certainly, and when I see life coaches, today's qualified life coaches, they are too good. they qualify, they work hard, they do certifications and do so many conscious efforts to be, really well equipped to handle their clients, which is like very beautiful. My generation, people did nothing. We closed our eyes and that's it. but this generation, I see they're very hardworking. They're very open to learning. They have no walls. They have no cultural walls at all in their head. They're so open to taking wisdom from any part of the world, which is like such a beautiful thing. This is exactly what God wants from us. The universe, or God, whenever you hear me addressing God, I mean the universe. I mean the Creator. Whenever we close our eyes and reflect on what does God want from us, He wants us to drop all conditioning, all the barriers that separate people from people, humans from human. When somebody is suffering, I am suffering because he is a part of me. He's an extension of me. At this moment, in this timeline, when somebody is there in front of me and is suffering, a part of me is suffering. If I realize this, I can help him. I can help him better because he's me at this moment. And to be able to work and do really something authentic for him, I should be able to understand me completely. So completely that I understand the other so completely. Right?
Wow, that's beautiful.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, 2 more questions?
Sure.
Yes? Okay.
Sure.
So I'm very interested in healing energy, and that's your primary focus, right? Of what you do?
Yeah.
Can you tell us a little more about that? Like, how do we heal others with energy? Self-healing and healing others with energy. And how can a therapist, a counselor, use that healing energy in therapy?
The flow of energy goes with the mind. Energy flows with the mind. Prana flows with the mind. That's why when you put up an asana, and when you keep your focus there, the energy flows there, and that's how the asana works on you. Correct?
Yes.
In the same way, I mean, the fundamental thought is that prana flows wherever mind is. Prana flows wherever mind is. If there is clarity in the mind, the prana flows with clarity. If there is fragmenting in the mind, the prana is fragmented. The potency of the prana is the potency of God, or the universe. The prana is so intense, the energy of your body is so intense. So when you have intellectual clarity and mental clarity about what's happening with the other person, energy starts flowing from you like a horse pipe. Mm-hmm. That doesn't need to be told where to flow. It flows wherever there are gaps and holes. You get it? Healing is an automatic thing. It's not something that is done. Mm-hmm. It's something that happens. When we have clarity as healers about the situation, when we have compassion, there's no intellect interfering with it. When you have compassion and when you have clarity about the whole system of the human being, at all levels, then energy just flows. Mm-hmm. And you allow it to flow. In a conversation, healing can happen.
Yeah.
In a conversation, healing can happen. In the presence of someone, healing can happen. It doesn't need to be mechanically done. So all the postures and one hour session, half hour session, 2 hour session is not something we believe in. We believe that in a fraction of a second a person can be healed. A hug can heal a person, right? Just a talk can heal a person. Just close your eyes and sit with me for a while, it can heal. Yeah? Energy flows. Energy is automated, self-guided, guided by the consciousness within. It doesn't require training. It needs only clarity of the mind and brain. That's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
What is the best lesson you have learned in your life? The best lesson that somebody taught you or that you have learned on your own?
The best lesson?
The best lesson. Like this experience taught me this is so important in life for you.
Pinpointedly, I cannot put in one, but yes, the thought that comes to me right now when you're asking me this question is that probably the most intense learning in my life has been to flow, to learn how to flow, and to be available and present this moment, to be with Claudia and to be with Jason and to be with Rana ji. If I'm 100% here and now, I'm able to justify my existence. If a part of me is doing something else mentally, then I'm not available. And this presence, we hear about it so much in books and we read about it. There's a power of now and there is new earth and, so many teachings that talk about the power of now. But this is something more deeper than what we just, why can't you just be now? But people don't know how to be now. People don't know how to be present now. So my biggest lesson, my biggest learning has been, when you remove the doership from your personality, when you remove the doership that I am doing, you're convinced, our conditioning and the entire Maya convinces us that I am doing. I worked hard so I topped the examination. I worked hard so I got this promotion. I worked hard so I'm earning so well. When you remove this doership and understand that grace is working through you all the time, and whatever happens, whatever good happens to you is full of grace. Whatever bad happens to you is also full of grace, because there are deeper lessons, there are deeper learnings, there are wider, bigger horizons that are opening up in front of you whenever we falter, whenever we fall. So if you're convinced of this, that grace is working through us all the time, then you forget and you just push aside the doer in you. When the doer in you is not there, to be present here and now is very easy. It's very easy because I have no agenda in my mind. I don't have to do anything. I have no agenda in my mind. I'm available right now here and can enjoy your company, your conversations, your energy, and your, the entire aura. I'm here, available.
All right, thank you so much. That's all. Do you guys want to ask something? Okay, so that's all. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Namaste.
Namaste. In India, it's all about practice. You pick up something and you practice it for years and years and years and years. And that polishes your inside, glitters and gleams. I see that's something which is lacking in the Westerners.
Yes.
They're in a hurry to be there. And result, you to give your life. This life is not, it's very, like I said, it's the blink of the eye of the universe. So they say that the soul reincarnates because it has hope from you that you're going to do something about its realization. Every lifetime is a hope. The soul takes a birth and makes you better. Every lifetime makes you better, makes you better, makes you better. It goes into inquiry and finding the truth of the universe and about yourself. That is all that makes your soul happy. Your soul is not happy with $1 million you have in your bank or anything, any achievement. It doesn't make the soul happy. What makes the soul happy is self-inquiry. Self-inquiry and finding your truth.